For some of the children, they may not experience a happy home life. Coming to Stand is that relief for them. It's a great way to start their day.
Running, 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 running from the field no more. Together we'll win it all.
Stand is an organisation that supports children who have experienced complex trauma, either through developmental trauma, attachment relational trauma, or through physical harm, violence in the home, or by a traumatic event. So trauma affects the brainstem, the survival brain. When a child experiences a traumatic event, that survival brain enters that mode of fight, flight or freeze. When that is a reoccurring event, for a child to be in that heightened response, it actually begins to change hormone levels in the brain. It actually begins to become a barrier to normal brain development. Therefore, problems can occur later on in how they handle strategies in order to get by and cope in everyday life situations.
When you have a child who's traumatised, they can react in a number of ways. So they can be quite shut down, so they can really go into themselves and not be very communicative and be very sullen. Or they can be very expressive, so they will shout and scream and run around, and we have quite a few walls that end up with holes in them that we have to repair every now and again.
So our children that have experienced trauma are primed to seeing threat, even in the faces of those that are trying to help them and the voices of those that are trying to help them. That's attached to all that primal caregiving stuff. And if children have missed out on all of that, they don't have those blueprints in their brain. So we're trying to create blueprints of successful relationship, impact on their internal working models, that they're safe in the world, that they're loved and they belong in the world, and that they're capable of overcoming challenges.
From the children that first came to us to what we see now is just incredible. You wouldn't want to be in our house if there was a meltdown, I'm telling you. Everything would be flying in this room, that would be it.
So Xavier has been attending music therapy for 5 months. He was removed from custody from his mother due to alcohol and drug dependency. Now Xavier's father sadly passed away last year, and since then has been continuing living with his grandmother. Xavier really had challenges around emotional regulation. He found it very difficult to focus and to be aware of what was happening in the room. But over the course of music therapy sessions, we have found that Xavier is able to connect. It enhances his creativity, and that there's safety in being alongside another.
The meltdowns are not as significant as they were beforehand, prior to coming up here and having the music therapy. He's learning now through music how we try and control ourselves and put ourselves in a different light than that being in that dark side.
Why do you like that song?
Well, it just calms you down sometimes.
Yeah. Calms you down. So before we sing together, how are you feeling?
Frustrated and agitated sometimes.
Yeah. Music is a great motivator to encourage those interactions to happen and to decrease anxiety levels, to make people feel calm, to regulate during this so that they can engage.
A talking way of doing stuff which engages the sort of the cognitive side of the brain is not necessarily the most effective way, but to have something that comes in and develops that relationship, creates a sense of fun, a sense of connection and a sense of joy through something like music is really, really powerful. And it's very complementary to the other therapeutic approaches we have, such as Theraplay, that uses play and touch as a medium as well, so it sits really, really well in that whole suite of interventions.
'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we stick together, the happier we'll be.
The children, they love them, they get enjoyment out of them,
it's engaging, it's nurturing for our children. Is it necessary? Yes, I would say it is necessary. It's another great vehicle in which to support our children.
Well, I think the research clearly states that we need to utilise right brain therapeutic input, which is working with the emotional, working at their brainstem level, and music therapy brings that. I absolutely love coming to Stand. As a music therapist, I feel that I've found a place where I can really meet a need and make a difference. We know that it's effective. We see that it's working. We see that people gravitate towards music therapy and they get a lot from it.
I think everybody who comes in here should have exposure to music therapy as one of the foundation stones of a therapeutic approach.
And if I lose myself, I lose it all. And if I lose myself, I lose it all.